All right, welcome back to Cornell Field at Sparrow Stadium on the campus of Francis Marion University. The clouds are starting to roll in for Game 2 of this doubleheader between Mount Olive Trojans and your Francis Marion Patriots. This is the Patriot Sports Network. My name is Kyle Nashheim, and let's talk very quickly about the previous game. It was a 20-4 victory by the Patriots. Winning pitcher Robbie Jordan, 6 innings, only 8 hits allowed on 30 batters faced, 7 strikeouts. And the loss going to Dawson Gauze, 6 earned runs and 1 in the 3rd innings pitched. Dalton Dabbs got his first home run of the season, and Mount Olive, left 10 batters on base. Hedgepath, Dill, and Benton, all for Mount Olive, had doubles. Stokes had a single for Mount Olive. Hardy had a triple. Hardy had a triple for Francis Marion. As we are getting ready, your starting pitcher for Patriots, Matt Dooley, making his 12th appearance. He's got a 4-0 record with 29 in the 3rd innings pitched, 19 strikeouts on the season. He'll be facing the top of the order. First up, second baseman Jack Casparo. Taking the first pitch. Swung through, strike 1. The rest of the Mount Olive order, batting second, Vito Paterno. Alden Cottle batting 3rd, batting cleanup. Aaron Hedgepath, Cooper George batting 5th, Joshua Jones 6th, Gordon Phil in the DH slot 7th, Dylan Benton 8th, and David Cucci batting 9th. 0-1 pitch outside for ball 1, How the Patriots are going to be looking defensively. Lex Tootin will be in left field. Bill Hanna will be in center field as the 1-1 pitch is outside for ball 2. Will Hardy in right field. In your infield, left to right, Todd Maddox, Nafis Llanos, Tanner Wakefield. As the pitch goes, as the 2-1 pitch goes out of the park for a leadoff home run for Jack Casparo, his 10th of the season. And that gives the Trojans an early 1-0 lead. Remember, they had a 1-0 lead at the beginning of Game 1 after the first half inning. And then Francis Marion went on to outscore them 20-3 in the rest of that game. Darius Nobles in on first base. Isaac Shook is your catcher, and Matt Dooley the pitcher. First pitch into shallow center for Vito Paterno. And Paterno will get a single in that to start his at-bats today. Batting 3rd, Alden Cottle. First pitch down the middle for strike 1. No outs, runners on first. And home plate umpire Christopher Rubessa says that's a hit by pitch. And Cottle will be advancing to first, advancing Paterno to second. As Aaron Hedgepath comes up to bat. That win in Game 1 improved the series record to 29-21 in favor of Mount Olive, giving Coach Art Inhabitant his 651st victory with the Patriots, 735th overall. Hedgepeth up now. No out, runner on first and second. Into right field. Into the glove of Will Hardy as Paterno will advance to third. Will Hardy had his roller skates on and got to that ball in time. First out, runners on the corner. And congratulations to the Francis Marion softball team coming back from a 2-0 deficit to win Game 1 of their series 3-2. Game 2 currently going on right now on the Patriot Sports Network. First pitch fouled. A 1 pitch. Down the middle, strike two. Oh, 2 pitch. Down the middle, strike 3 for the second out of the inning, giving Matt Dooley his 20th strikeout of the season. 2 outs, runners on the corners for Joshua Jones. Jones was held hitless in Game 1 as he takes the first pitch ball. One 0 pitch. Down the middle, strike one, excuse me. One pitch. Popped up. Todd Maddox calling everyone off. In his glove for the third out of the inning. 2 runners left on base, but Mount Olive scores first, taking a 1-0 lead. Now, going into the middle of this bottom of the first inning, here's how the Francis Marion batters will be lining up. Will Hardy batting first. Nate Fasciano second. Todd Maddox third. Lenio Gonzalez in the DH spot cleanup. Darius Nobles fifth. Tanner Wakefield 6th, Lex Tootin 7th, Isaac Shuck 8th, and Bill Hanna batting 9th. The Mount Olive defense will be looking like this. Vito Paterno in left field, David Cucci in center field, Cooper George in right field, Alden Cotto at third base, Joshua Jones at shortstop, Jack Casparo at second base, and Aaron Hedgepeth at first base. Catching for the Trojans is Dylan Benton, and the starting pitcher is right-handed senior Seth Nightingale, making his 11th appearance, 1-1 on the season, pitching 26 innings with a 4.85 ERA. We'll be right back with the bottom of the first inning.
The Swanfox Club is the fundraising arm of the Francis Marion University Athletic Department, and it supplies assistance to all 14 intercollegiate sports. On behalf of the student athletes at Francis Marion, I would like to thank all those who are members of the Swanfox Club for their support.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, welcome back to Cornell Field at Sparrow Stadium on the campus of Francis Marion University. This is the Patriots Sports Network. My name is Kyle Nashheim. Bottom of the first inning, Mount Olive leads 1-0. This is a similar situation as the Patriots found themselves into in Game 1. Scored a run in the first before blowing the scoring gates wide open in the second inning. We'll see if this happens as Seth Nightingale takes the first pitch. Outside for ball 1 to Will Hardy. Oh, 1-0 pitch outside for ball 2. Will Hardy in the last game extended his hitting streak to 13 games. Looking to make it 14 right here. It's a 2-0 pitch. Deep into center field. And down for a single, at least going to get some extra bases as Will Hardy extends his hitting streak to 14 games with a leadoff double. That is Will Hardy's 16th double of the season, which brings up Nafis Llanos. Nafis Llanos also extended a hitting streak in Game 1 to 11 games. He's been walked 4 times by this Trojan pitching staff this weekend. First pitch, showing bunt. Strike one, ball 1. One 0 pitch inside in the dirt for ball 2. Two 0 pitch outside corner for strike 1. Two 1 pitch up the middle into center field. Will Hardy is going to round third to come home. Nafis Llanos extends his hitting streak to 12 games, and it ties the game 1-1 as Todd Maddox comes up. His reaching base safely streak was extended in Game 1 to 78 games. He is now 10 games shy of the Division I record, 11 games shy of breaking it. That record set in 2009-2010 by Catawba's Craig Lively. No one out. Runner on first. Ball in the dirt for ball 1. One 0 pitch inside for ball 2. Now remember, this streak will continue if he gets a hit by pitch, a walk, intentional walk, or catcher's interference. A 2-0 pitch down the middle for strike 1. Was a 2-1 pitch, keeping Nafis Llanos at first. Llanos 6 for 9 on stolen bases attempts this season. 2-1 pitch, low for ball 3. Todd Maddox is 1 ball away from extending the streak to 79 games. Three-one pitch. Outside for ball 4. The streak is at 79 games for Todd Maddox. He is now 9 away from tying the record, 10 away from breaking the record. And also advances Nathan Llanos to second base. As we have a discussion on the mound. All right, the meeting on the mound is over for the Trojans. Seth Nightingale, in 12 pitches, has allowed a walk and an earned run on 2 hits, as he's facing Lineal Gonzalez. Gonzalez had an RBI in the last game. First pitch, outside for ball 1. Mount Olive pitching staff walked 5 Patriots in game 1. 1-0 pitch. Off the lower body of Lineal Gonzalez, and that will advance him to third. As now bases loaded for Darius Nobles. Darius leads the team in homers with 11, and his RBI total has increased to 39. No outs, bases loaded. Seth Nightingale in a jam. Nobles 385, 11 home runs, 39 RBIs on the season. Foul tip. We already have had 1 grand slam this afternoon. That was in game 1 by Dalton Dobbs. Darius Nobles would love to add to that total. Inside for ball 1. One count. No outs. One pitch. Foul down to third base side for strike 2. One-two count. Foul toward the batting cages. We'll try the 1-2 pitch again. One-two pitch. Swung through, strike 3. And that is the first out for the Patriots as Tanner Wakefield comes up to bat. Wakefield extended his hitting streak to 19 games, with 14 of those games having multi-hit games. Tanner Wakefield coming up to a one-out, bases-loaded scenario. Seth Nightingale looking to put this inning out of his mind. Here's the pitch. Up into shallow right field. Llanos is going to score, and that blooper to shallow right is going to advance everyone 90 feet. That is going to be a one-out single to increase the Patriots' lead to 2-1. Putting Wakefield on first, Gonzalez on second, Maddox on third. As Lex Tootin's coming up. Lex Tootin, he's tough to get out. Only having struck out 9 times this season. As the first pitch is inside, moved him off the plate a little bit for ball 1. Bases loaded, 1 out. Patriots lead 2-1. One-zero pitch. Inside for ball 2. Two-zero pitch. Popped up into foul territory. Two-one pitch. Popped up. Bends underneath it and has it for the second out of the inning. Maddox wasn't going to try to get home on a sac fly. Isaac Shuck up to bat now. Got 12 RBIs on the season. Would love to add at least 1 or 2 right here. Bring a couple more Patriots home. 2 outs, bases loaded. Here's the pitch. Outside for ball 1. One-zero pitch. On a foul for strike 1. One-one pitch. Down the top part of the plate for strike 2. Two outs, bases loaded. In the dirt for ball 2. Two-two pitch. Wild pitch. And that is going to bring home Todd Maddox. And that's going to advance everyone else 90 feet on the wild pitch. That is going to increase the lead to the Patriots 3-1. This will be an unearned run. No, it is an earned run. Full count, 3-1 Patriots lead, 2 outs, runners on second and third, and swung through for strike 3 to end the inning, but the Patriots rebound from the 1-0 deficit to take a 3-1 lead after 1 inning. And Conference Carolinas is committed to aligning with businesses that share our common values and, like us, strive to attain excellence and virtue in all endeavors. We work hard to make our corporate partnerships a truly beneficial relationship through mutually agreed upon customization that will lead to unparalleled exposure. Conference Carolinas would like to thank our current corporate partners, Barnes & Noble College, Bufkin and Baker, Cambria Hotels, Greenville Championship Award Guys, Formetco, Herf Jones, Hometown Ticketing, Marriott Spartanburg, McGriff Insurance Services, McMillan Pasden Smith Plus Inc., Score Shots, SCS by Floor Action Inc., Sidearm Sports, Southern Recognition LLC, South State Bank, Ticket Smarter, Toledo Ticket Technologies, and Vernon Graphics and Promotion. Please visit conferencecarolinas.com to learn more about Conference Carolinas corporate partners. We'll be right back with the top of the second inning with the 7, 8, 9 hitters for the Trojans right after this.
Francis Marion University has always put its students first because the very best college education must be both meaningful and affordable. We've frozen tuition for 3 straight years. We've expanded our programs, opening the door to a variety of rewarding careers. Our campus has been recognized as the safest in the state. And now we're providing students with an on-campus healthcare plan that's covered by their existing tuition. This is what every college should be doing. We know one that actually is.
All right, welcome back to Cornell Field at Sparrow Stadium on the campus of Francis Marion University. This is the Patriots Sports Network. My name is Kyle Nashheim. Top of the second inning now. The 7, 8, 9 hitters of the Trojan lineup are up. First, Gordon Pill, as he takes the first pitch for a ball 1. One-zero pitch. Outside for ball 2. Two pitch outside for ball 3. Three-zero pitch inside for a walk. Up next, catcher Dylan Benton. He saw limited action in relief in Game 1 today. This has been his 10th appearance, only 6th start of the season. popped up in the foul territory. Todd Maddox looking for it, but ran out of real estate. Strike one. Pill is 2 for 2 in stolen base attempts this season. As the 0-1 pitch, low for ball one. One pitch. Outside corner, but ball two. Says home plate umpire Christopher Rubessa. Two-one pitch. Fouled back. Two-two pitch. Outside corner for strike three. Matt Dooley gets his second strikeout of the game. A moment. And that is the 9th strikeout today for the Patriots pitching staff. David Cucci up. 1 out, runner on first. Outside for strike one. A 1 pitch. Popped back in foul territory. Cucci down 0-2 in the count with 1 out. Pill on first. 0-2 pitch. Just outside for ball one. One-two pitch. Swung through. Strike three. Third strike for Matt Dooley. 10th of the day for the Patriots pitching staff. As we're now back to the top of the order, Jack Casbaro. Casbaro took Dooley deep in his first at-bat. Dooley looking for some revenge on this pitch. Little high, ball one. One-zero pitch. Down there for strike one. One-one count. Low for ball two. Two outs. Pill still on first. 2-1 pitch. Down there for strike 2. Two-two pitch outside for ball 3. Full count. 2 outs. Swung through. Strike 3 to end the inning. After 1.5, the Patriots are up 3-1. And Francis Marion Athletics would like to thank the following sponsors: Adidas, Circle Park Behavioral Health Services, McLeod Regional Medical Center, Ken Jackson and Remax Professionals, Pepsi, McDonald's, Rains Hospitality, including Fairfield Inn, Spring Hill Suites, Courtyard by Marriott, Comfort Inn, and Hyatt Place, King Cadillac Buick GMC, McLeod Sports Medicine, Chick-fil-A, State Farm and Agent Jim Stewart, Quincy Steakhouse, Little Caesars, La Quinta Inn and Suites, KFC Arby's, Florence Toyota, Waffle House, PD Electric Cooperative, Sparrow and Kennedy Tractor Supply, McCall Supply Inc., Western Sizzlin Steakhouse, State Credit Union, and Zaxby's. Once again, Francis Marion University Athletics would like to thank the following sponsors. We will be back with the bottom of the second inning with the 9 1-2 hitters for the Patriots right after this.
Compassion and commitment have made you a great nurse. Now it's time to take the next step in your career and earn an advanced practice degree. Francis Marion University Nursing is led by great nurses who take teaching seriously. We're recognized as a National Center of Excellence for Teaching Nurses. Francis Marion University. Teaching matters here.
All right, welcome back to Cornell Field at Sparrow Stadium on the campus of Francis Marion University. This is the Patriots Sports Network. My name is Kyle Nashheim. Bottom of the second inning up. Bill Hanna up to bat now. Patriots lead 3-1 as he takes the first pitch ball. One 0 pitch. Swung through, strike 1. One pitch. Outside for ball 2. Two-one pitch swung through, strike 2. Two-two pitch and grounded foul. As there looks to be some light workout going in the Trojans bullpen right now. We'll stay on top of that. As Bill Hanna faces a 2-2 count. That's going to be ball 3. Full count for Hanna. And off the upper body of Bill Hanna, he'll reach base on a hit by pitch. as this will bring up Will Hardy to the plate. All the current active hitting streaks that we have been extended, as well as Todd Maddox's reaching base safely streak, as the first pitch is outside for ball one. One 0 pitch. Swung through, strike one. Bill Hanna 4 for 6 on stolen base opportunities. 1-1 pitch. And that's going to be a wild pitch. And that is going to advance Bill Hanna 90 feet. Two-one count. Bill Hanna now on second after the wild pitch by Seth Nightingale. Popped up into foul territory on the left field side. That's going to be 2-2 for Will Hardy. Hardy 1 for 1 on the day. Patriots currently on their season-high 6-game winning streak after the 20-4 victory in Game 1. 2-2 pitch inside for strike three, and that is the second out of the inning. First out of the inning. And that brings us up to Nafis Llanos. 1 for 1 with an RBI. Showing bunt is going to advance Hardy, Bill Hanna, and Llanos is able to beat the throw to first. So runners on the corners. I'm going to say batters on the corners. Runners on the corner with one out for Todd Maddox. Now that the streak has definitely been extended, just like in the first game, he really went to town, going 2 for 4. First pitch, outside corner, ball one. And Todd Maddox had 3 RBIs as Nightingale tries to pick off Llanos at first, but is unsuccessful. One 0 pitch in the shallow right field. That is going to score Bill Hanna. Llanos is going to advance to third. And Todd Maddox gets on board with a single, one-out single that scores, making the lead 4-1 for Francis Marion. Plenty of high fives in the Patriot dugout as Leniel Gonzalez comes up. Gonzalez hit by a pitch in his last at bat. One out, runner on first and third. Up the middle into left field. Llanos is going to score. Max is going to get to second. And a single will score another run, making it now 5-1. Francis Marion. As the celebration continues in the Patriot dugout. Darius Noble's up now. 1 out, runners on first and second. Gonzalez on first, Maddox on second. Here's the pitch. Fouled back. Good catch by Tanner Wakefield off the netting. As the activity in the Trojan bullpen continues. Nobles calls time. Oh, 1 pitch outside for ball 1. One pitch as a wild pitch that is going to advance the runners 90 feet. Two-one count, 1 out, runners on second and third after the wild pitch. Hit into center field, drops right in front of Carson of George, Cooper George, and that is going to score Todd Maddox. We'll make sure I get that correctly. Todd Maddox has scored, making it 6-1, and there was a meeting on the mound. And it looks like there is going to be a new pitcher. We are going to take a quick break. We're going to find out who the new pitcher is. We'll be right back. Welcome back. The new pitcher is number 6, Caleb Irwin. Irwin making his 13th appearance of the season. pitching the second most innings on the team at 42 2/3. And he will be inheriting a situation with one out, runners on the corners. Just remember, Nightingale is responsible for the runners on base right now. As coming up, Tanner Wakefield 1-for-1 with an RBI in his first at bat. Here's the pitch. Into center field. Back and into the glove of Gucci. But it will be a sac fly as Lenio Gonzalez will score from third to make it a 7-1 Patriots lead. So 2 outs, but another run comes across the plate. Lex Tuden up to bat now. Looking to join the hit parade. 2 outs with Darius Nobles on first. Here's the pitch. Liner down the first base line. Oh, 1 pitch. Low for ball 1. Just a reminder, if Nobles does cross home, Nightingale is responsible for him. 1-1 pitch. Fouled for strike 2. This Patriots offense continuing to fire on all cylinders. As the 1-2 pitch inside for ball 2. Keeping Nobles at check on first. Nobles has 1 stolen base attempt and was successful in that this season. Two-two pitch. Up the middle. Into the glove of Jones. Of Joshua Jones. To end the inning, but not before Francis Marion puts 4 more runs on the scoreboard to increase its lead to 7-1. We'll be right back with the top of the 3rd inning as Mount Olive will be bringing up, I believe, the 2, 3, and 4 hitters right after this.
If there's a prettier place to go to college in the springtime, we don't know about it. Of course, we think it's the place to be all year round. Francis Marion University. Unparalleled beauty, unbeatable affordability, education that will last a lifetime.
Ooh, that's welcome back to Cornell Field at Sparrow Stadium on the beautiful campus of Francis Marion University. This is the Patriots Sports Network. My name is Kyle Nash. I'm top of the third inning now. Vito Paterno coming up 1-for-1 on today. Matt Dooley is still out there. Has 4 strikeouts on the day so far in 2 innings of work. First pitch, low for ball 1. Outside for ball 2. Two-zero pitch. Down the middle, we're calling it ball 3. Three-zero pitch. Outside for ball 4. Paterno walked, bringing up Alden Cottle, who was hit by a pitch in his last at bat. Hit into left field. Bill Hanna gets it. Keeps Cottle from advancing to second, but Paterno advances to third. No outs, runners on the corners. Aaron Hedgepeth up now, 0-for-1 on the day. Here's the pitch. Inside corner, strike 1. A 1 pitch. Swung through, strike 2. After giving up that home run in the top of the first inning, Dooley is only allowed 2 hits. Oh, 2 pitch. Fouled by the Trojans bullpen. And we will do 0-2 again. Oh, 2 pitch. Inside. Runner advances. We're going to get clarification on what happened. Cooper George just reached base on a hit by pitch as we were getting clarification as to what happened with the Aaron Hedgepath, but he was out. I believe there was an obstruction call. Joshua Jones up now. First pitch foul. As runners on bases loaded for the Trojans. Once we get a full clarification, we'll go back to that. 0-1 pitch inside for strike two. O2 pitch. Fouled back. So let's go back a couple batters. Cottle singled to left center, advancing Patino to third. Hedgepath grounded out to the catcher. It will be, due to an obstruction. So it was an obstruction call. And then George was hit by a pitch, advancing Cottle to second. So that's where we get George on first, Cottle on second, Paterno on third, as we have another conversation going on with the manager and the umpire. One out, 0-2 count. Joshua Jones. I apologize for the confusion. We just wanted to make sure we get the information correct to you guys. Oh, 2 pitch. Fouled back. So what the obstruction was Hedgepath didn't get out of the way as the runner on first was trying to steal second after the out. So that is what the obstruction call was, as a 2-1 pitch. Outside for ball three. Oh, I'm sorry. It was a 0-2 pitch. Outside for ball one. One out. 1-2 pitch. Blooper. And that's going to be a single. That's going to be a single that scores one run for Mount Olive. Jones singled to second base. Paterno scored on that play. Bases still loaded. One out for Matt Dooley. Here's the pitch. Down the middle, strike one. A 1 pitch. High for ball one. One pitch for Gordon Pill. Outside corner, but ball two. 2-1 pitch. Fouled back. Strike 2. Even count with 1 out, bases loaded. Two pitch. Into Maddox. Got a runner out at second. Missed opportunity for a double play to end the inning, as it now only puts runners on first. First pitch is a ball, as there is some activity in the Patriots bullpen. 1-0 pitch, fouled back. One pitch outside for ball 2. That previous play, Pill reached on a throwing error by the second baseman. 2 runs scored. Jones out at second, and then George scored. The George score was unearned. Cotto's score was. As 3-1, as Benton is facing a 3-1 count. 2 outs, runner on first. High for ball 4. As David Cucci is coming up, we'll be having a conversation at the mound. Matt Dooley still in the game. 2 outs. Runners on first and second for David Cucci. 0 for 1 with a strikeout on the game. Cucci has struck out 16 times this season. Dooley would love to make it number 17 to get out of this inning. Here's the pitch. Outside for ball 1. One 0 pitch high for ball 2. 2-0 pitch. Swung through, strike one. Two one pitch. Popped up into left field underneath Tootin, and Tootin grabs it in for the final out of the inning. But after 2.5, the Trojans put 3 runs on the board to shrink the lead. Patriots 7, Mount Olive 4. We will be right back with the bottom of the third inning as we have the 8, 9, and 1 batters for the Patriots coming up. Welcome back to Cornell Field at Sparrow Stadium on the beautiful campus of Francis Marion University. This is the Patriots Sports Network. My name is Kyle Nash. I'm bottom of the third inning, and Isaac Shuck up to bat now. First pitch, swinging, strike one. A 1 pitch up the middle, mishandled by Casparo, but was able to recover in time to get the first out of the inning. And coming up, Bill Hanna. Hanna hit by a pitch, his first at bat. Here's the pitch. Outside corner for strike one. A 1 pitch. Outside corner for strike two. Oh, 2 pitch. Swung through strike three. And that brings us back to the top of the order. Will Hardy, 1 for 2 on the day. Two up, 2 down. As the first pitch is low for strike one. Oh, 1 pitch. in the dirt for ball one. One pitch. In the dirt for ball two. That pitch had some heat on him. It threw Irwin's hat right off him. Two-one pitch. Inside for ball three. Three-one pitch. Inside corner, strike two. Full count. 2 outs, nobody on. Three-two pitch. Popped up into right field. George is getting underneath it and gets it for the third out of the inning. After three, the score is Francis Marion 7, Mount Olive 4, and the Conference Carolinas digital network is powered by Blue Frame and is the official digital network of Conference Carolinas. It will encompass all original programming from Conference Carolinas. The Conference Carolinas digital network is available online at conferencecarolinasdn.com, as well as on platforms such as Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Android TV, and Apple TV. Mobile devices included iPhones, iPad, and Android will also work with the default web browser. Learn more and start watching now at conferencecarolinas.com. We will be back with the top of the fourth inning with the 1-2-3 hitters coming up and a pitching change right after this.
This is Conference Carolinas.
Welcome back to Cornell Field at Sparrow Stadium on the campus of Francis Marion University. My name is Kyle Nashheim. This is the Patriots Sports Network. We have a pitching change on the mound now. Senior right-handed pitcher, number 32, Corey Paulson, as he will face the top of the order. Caspero 1 for 2 on today with a home run. As the first pitch just outside for ball one. One-zero pitch outside for ball two. Paulson's pitched 10 in the third innings as he gets strike one. Allowed 13 strikeouts this season. Two-one pitch, swung through, strike two. Two-two pitch, swung through, strike three. That sends Jack Casparo down. Vito Paterno up now 1-for-1 with the walk. First pitch down the middle, but a little high for ball one. That's Paulson's 14th strikeout of the season as the 1-0 pitch. And Paterno is going to advance on a hit by pitch. So runner on first with one out. Alden Cotto up now, 1-for-1 on the day. Here's the pitch. Outside for ball one. One-0 pitch. Hit into center right field, and it drops as Paterno's going to advance to third. Cotto's going to get a double. That puts runners on second and third with one out. Dropped into right center. Right in between Hannah and Hardy. Aaron Hedgepeth up 0 for 2. Hedgepeth 0 for 1 on the day as he takes strike one. Here's the pitch. Foul towards the softball stadium. Oh, 2 pitch. Up the middle of the second, the shortstop. Max is able to get the runner out at third on a fielder's choice, but the fielder choice did score another run as Patino advanced home on the fielder's choice. So 2 outs, runner on first, with Cooper George up 0 for 1 with a strikeout. George into foul territory. So, foul ball, strike one, as Nobles gets situated back at first base. 0-1 pitch. Fouled. He's got 0-2. Oh, 2 pitch. Fouled towards the batting cages. Oh, 2 pitch. Low for ball 1. One-two pitch outside for ball 2. And congratulations to the women's tennis team. They were traveled to Spartanburg, South Carolina today. They defeated Converse College 5-2. Two-two pitch. Up the middle. In the left field. Just out of reach of Nefesianos. So that will put runners on first and second. 2 outs. Joshua Jones up 1 for 2 with an RBI. Inside for ball 1. One 0 pitch fouled back. One pitch, 2 out. Runner on first and second. Over the head of Nefesianos. Into center field. As Hedgepath scores from second. George goes all the way to third. And Joshua Jones on an RBI single closes the gap to 7-6 with 2 outs. There is some activity in the Patriots bullpen. We'll keep you apprised whenever a change is made. But up to bat now, Gordon Pill, 0 for 1 and a walk. First pitch down the middle, strike 1. And a quick update from the softball stadium. The Patriots are looking to do a second consecutive rally, currently down 4-0 to Emmanuel at the bottom of the 6th. 0-1 pitch, swung through, strike 2. Just a reminder, the softball game is also available on the Patriot Sports Network. Visit conferencecarolinas.dn.com to view all the games. 0-2 pitch. Popped up. Noble's looking to get underneath it, and he gets it for the third out of the inning, leaving one stranded, but 2 runs score as the gap is tightening up. Patriots lead 7-6. At the bottom of the 4th inning, we will be seeing the 2, 3, and 4 hitters lead off the inning. We'll be right back after this.
The Swanfalls Club is a fundraising arm of the Francis Marion University Athletic Department, and it supplies assistance to all 14 intercollegiate sports. On behalf of the student athletes at Francis Marion, I would like to thank all those who are members of the Swanfalls Club for their support.
Thank you.
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 Welcome back to Cornell Field at Sparrow Stadium. This is the Patriot Sports Network. My name is Kyle Nashheim. It is a cloudy day, but it is an exciting offensive day here at Cornell Field. Patriots leading 7-6 at the bottom of the 4th inning. Nafis Llanos leads off the hits for the Patriots. Caleb Irwin back out on the mound as the first pitch low for ball 1. One 0 pitch fouled. First base coach got out of the way of that. One pitch. Down the middle, strike 2. One-two pitch. Grounded to first. Hedgepath gets the ball and tags out Llanos at first. Coming up, Todd Maddox. Maddox 1 for 1 with an RBI, also walked today. One out, nobody on. Here's the pitch. In the dirt for ball 1. One 0 pitch. High for ball 2. Maddox has been walked 15 times this season. Number 16 would get a runner on the base paths, with the Patriots trying to cling to a 1-run lead. 2-0 count. High for ball 3. Lenio Gonzalez in the on-deck circle. 3-0 count. Inside for ball 4. Now put Maddox on first with Lenil Gonzalez up to bat. One out, runner on first for Lenil Gonzalez. As Gonzalez calls time. Here's the pitch. Inside corner, strike 1. A 1 pitch. Strike 2. Oh, 2 pitch. Popped up in the center. Into the glove of Gucci for the second out. Darius Noble's up 1 for 2 on the day with a RBI. 2 outs, runner on first. Down the middle, strike 1. A 1 pitch. Fouled back. After a timely call, a time being called. 0-2 pitch outside for ball 1. One-two pitch. And into the glove of Paterno to end the inning. After 4, the Patriots still lead 7-6. And going into the top of the 5th inning, we'll be having the 8, 9, and 1 batters coming up right after this.
Francis Marion University has always put its students first because the very best college education must be both meaningful and affordable. We've frozen tuition for 3 straight years. We've expanded our programs, opening the door to a variety of rewarding careers. Our campus has been recognized as the safest in the state. And now we're providing students with an on-campus healthcare plan that's covered by their existing tuition. This is what every college should be doing. We know one that actually is.
Welcome back to Cornell Field at Sparrow Stadium on the campus of Francis Marion University. This is the Patriots Sports Network. My name is Kyle Nashon. We do have a pitching change. Senior Daniel Twitty is up. The right-hander has pitched 14 in the third innings, has 14 strikeouts on the season, and he will be facing Dylan Benton, 0 for 1 with a strikeout on the day. As first pitch strike. A 1 pitch. Into right field. As Benton rounds second. Hardy's trying to cut him off. And he cuts him off before he can go to third. As Benton gets a lead-off double. And that will bring up David Cucci. Cucci 0 for 2 with a strikeout on the day. Here's the pitch, showing bunt. Fouled back for strike 1. A 1 pitch, showing bunt. Home plate umpire Christopher Rubessa calling that ball 1. Again, some instruction from the bench as it goes back. 1-1 count. No out. Runner on second. 1 pitch showing bunt. Ball 2. Two one count. Bump right back to Twitty. Twitty throws it to Nobles to get the first out of the inning, but that advances Benton over to third. So Benton advances on a sac bunt as Jack Caspero back up 1 for 3 on the day. Up the middle, that scores Benton. And Caspero gets a double to tie the ball game at 7. So up to bat now, Vito Paterno, 1 for 1 on the day. As top of the 5th, 1 out, the game is tied. Caspero advances to third on a wild pitch. So Caspero reached on a fielding error by the second baseman, advancing to second. Benton scored. As the 1-0 pitch popped up but fouled. And because of the wild pitch, the Benton run is now an earned run for Twitty. 1 out, 1-1 count, runner on third. Inside for ball 2. Two one pitch. Up the middle to Wakefield. Wakefield gets into Nobles for a second out as another run scores. And for the first time since the top of the first inning, Mount Olive has the lead 8-7. So the run by Bosquero right now is unearned because the inning should be over at the moment. We'll see if that changes into an earned inning depending on what happens with the rest of this inning. As up to bat now, Alden Cottle, 2 for 2 on the day, 2 outs, nobody on. Grounded up the middle in the center. And Cotto gets a single. And that brings up Aaron Hedgepath. 2 outs, nobody on.
Yeah, so he hits another.
First pitch outside for ball one. 1-0 pitch. Down the middle, strike one. Two outs, Cottle on first, reaching on an error. No, Cottle singled up the middle, excuse me. 1-1 pitch. Into right field. Right underneath Hardy and into his glove to end the inning. But as we go into the bottom of the fifth inning, the Mount Olive Trojans take the lead 8-5. And coming up with Francis Marion, we will have the 6, 7, and 8 hitters right after this.
Compassion and commitment have made you a great nurse. Now it's time to take the next step in your career and earn an advanced practice degree. Francis Marion University Nursing is led by great nurses who take teaching seriously. We're recognized as a National Center of Excellence for Teaching Nurses. Francis Marion University. Teaching matters here.
Welcome back to Cornell Field at Sparrow Stadium on the campus of Francis Marion University. This is the Patriots Sports Network. My name is Kyle Nashheim. Caleb Irwin back on the mound, pitching 2 2/3 innings so far, as he will face Tanner Wakefield 1-for-1 with 2 RBIs on the day. Mount Olive leads the Patriots 8-7. Here's the pitch. Start the inning. Outside corner for strike one. A 1 pitch. Into center field. Cucci's on his skates, and Tanner Wakefield starts the bottom of the fifth inning with a leadoff double. Cucci almost ran out of room, slowed up a little bit to try to catch it, but could not get to it. As coming up now, Lex Tootin. Wakefield almost had his second home run of the season. Here's the pitch, showing bunt. Trying to get to first base, and he gets Tootin out at first, advancing Wakefield on a sac bunt. 1 out, runner on third with Isaac Shuck. I think it was for. Here's the pitch. Down the middle, strike one. A 1 pitch. Fouled back for strike two. Oh, 2 pitch. High for ball one. One-two pitch. That's going to be ball two. Two-two pitch. Gary Keller said he did not swing around. Ball three. Full count, 1 out, no runner on third. Pitch high for ball four as Shuck gets on base, and that brings us Bill Hanna. Hanna, it reached base on a hit by pitch. Runner on the corner, 1 out. Francis Marion down 8-7. Looking to retake the lead with Bill Hanna at bat. Ball one. One 0 pitch. Low for ball two. Shuck has not attempted a stolen base this season. Two 0 pitch showing bunt. Ball three. Showing bunt, 3-0 pitch. And Bill Hanna walks to load the bases for Will Hardy. Hardy 1 for 3 on the day. Hardy has a double. There will be a conversation on the mound. All right, the meeting on the mound is over. Will Hardy up 1 for 3 on the day in this game. 1 out, bases loaded. Will Hardy has 23 RBIs going into this game. Here's the pitch. Fouled back. As there's now action in the Trojan bullpen as well. A 1 pitch. Outside for ball 1. That Wakefield double was the first hit that Irwin has allowed since coming into the game, as the 1-1 pitch is fouled back. One-two pitch. Grounder to first. And a runner scores to tie the game. Runners on second and third for Nafis Llanos. Grounded to second. No, to shortstop. Shortstop to first to end the inning. But the Francis Marion Patriots put 1 on the board to tie the game 8-8. And Conference Carolinas has a rich tradition in roots that dates back to its early initial inception on December 6, 1930. Conference Carolinas believes in the development and formation of the whole body in person, body, mind, and soul. Our students are nationally recognized for their extraordinary success in the classroom, in the community, and at the highest levels of NCAA competition. Please visit conferencecarolinas.com to learn more about Conference Carolinas. At the top of the 6th inning, it will be the 5, 6, 7 hitters right after this. All right, welcome back to Cornell Field at Sparrow Stadium on the campus of Francis Marion University. This is the Patriots Sports Network. My name is Kyle Nashheim. Top of the 6th inning. Game is tied 8-8 Daniel Twitty back out on the mound. He'll be facing the 5, 6, 7 hitters, starting with Cooper George, 1 for 2 on the day. First pitch low for ball 1. Woody behind early on a 2-0 count. Gets one back, strike 1. Two-one pitch, grounded into the glove of Todd Maddox. Shoots it over to first, gets the first out of the inning. Let's go back to the bottom of the 5th real quick. On the scoring play that tied the game, Hardy grounded out to first, was unassisted. Did get an RBI though. Hannon advanced to second, Shuck advanced to third, and then Wakefield scored off of that. As Joshua Jones comes up 2 for 3 on the day. Here's the pitch, showing bunt. One 0 count. Fouled on the third base side for strike 1. Outside for ball 2. 2-1 pitch. Swung through, strike 2. Here's the pitch. Popped up, but foul. Down the left field line. Two count. Grounder to third, down to first to get the second out of the inning. Maddox to Noble, 40 out. Second time this inning. And that brings up Gordon Pill, 0 for 2 on the day. Here's the pitch. Down the middle, strike 1. Oh, 1 pitch. In the dirt for ball 1. One pitch. Outside for ball 2. Two-one pitch. Inside for strike 2. 2-2 pitch up the middle. That's going to be a 2-out single for Gordon Pill. Coming up to bat now, Dylan Benton, 1 for 2 on the day. Activity in the Patriots bullpen as the first pitch outside for ball 1. One 0 pitch. Low for ball 2. Two 0 pitch. Grounded foul towards the Patriots dugout. Two outs, runner on first. 2-1 pitch. Into left field for the single. Back-to-back 2-out singles have runners on first and second. With David Cucci coming up. Cucci 0 for 2 with a strikeout today.
Number 3, David Cucci.
Here's the pitch. Down the middle, but a little inside for ball 1. One 0 pitch. Down the middle for strike 1. One pitch. Grounded right back to the pitcher. Twitty sends it over to Nobles to get the third out of the inning. And the game is still tied after 6.5 innings. 8-8 coming up for the Patriots. The 3-4-5 hitters leading off with Todd Maddox. We'll be back with the bottom of the 6th right after this.
If there's a prettier place to go to college in the springtime, we don't know about it. Of course, we think it's the place to be all year round. Francis Marion University. Unparalleled beauty, unbeatable affordability, education that will last a lifetime.
Welcome back to Cornwell Field at Sparrow Stadium on the campus of Francis Marion University. This is the Patriots Sports Network. My name is Kyle Nash. I'm bottom of the sixth inning. Caleb Irwin back out as he's facing the 3-4-5 hitters. Todd Maddox takes strike one. A 1 pitch. Fouled back. Oh, 2 pitch. Foul down the right field side. Right at the batting cages. Oh, 2 pitch. Popped up into right field. Drops in between the second baseman and the short and right fielder to get Todd Maddox onto base. That is Maddox's second hit of the game. As we lead off the bottom of the sixth inning with a single, bringing up Lenio Gonzalez 1 for 2 with an RBI. The weather may be uncharacteristically chilly for an April, but the action inside Cornwell Field is hot. 8-8 as Lenio Gonzalez drives one into right field. As they're calling, we'll get a clarification on this, but they're calling Todd Maddox out. So 1 out. We will get clarification on this. But Lenio Gonzalez now on first. Darius Noble's out in the batter's box. Here's the pitch. Outside for ball 1. One 0 pitch, fouled back. So the clarification on the previous play, Lenio Gonzalez singled to second base, and Maddox was out at second on an unassisted out. 1-1 pitch. Down the right field side and foul territory. 1-2. And the reason why it was an unassisted out is because he was hit by the ball as Lenio Gonzalez was hitting it towards second base and right field. 1-2 pitch. Grounded to short. And it's going to be a fielder's choice that puts Darius Nobles on first. As Gonzalez is out at second. They were trying for the double play, but not in time. 2 outs, Darius Nobles on first base. With Tanner Wakefield 2 for 2. With 2 RBIs and a sac fly today and a double. Here's the pitch. Outside for strike 1. 0-1 pitch. Outside for ball one. One pitch. Grounded up towards a third. And out at second base to end the inning as the game is still tied 8-8 going into the top of the seventh inning. And the Conference Carolinas is where tradition is unmatched and excellence is earned daily. Our 13 current member institutions work hard daily to build champions in body, mind, and soul. It's who we are. Please visit conferencecarolinas.com to learn more about Conference Carolinas. And we'll be coming back right after this for the top of the seventh inning, the top of the order for the Trojans coming up, and we have a pitching change for the Patriots. This is the Patriot Sports Network. My name is Kyle Nashon. We are live at Cornell Field at Sparrow Stadium. We have a new pitcher on the mound, Jack Hegan. Hegan's pitched 6 innings so far this season, and he will face the top of the Trojans order. Jack Kisbaro comes up and fouls for the first pitch. A 1 pitch outside for ball one. One pitch up the middle. And Kisbaro will get on first with a leadoff single. And that brings up Vito Petrino. Vito Paterno, 1 for 2 on the day with an RBI. Runner on first, no outs. Here's the pitch. Down the middle for strike one. Mount Olive has 8 runs on 12 hits, no errors. Francis Marion, 8 runs, 10 hits, and 2 missed opportunities. as the 0-1 pitch fouled for strike two. Oh, 2 pitch. Outside for ball one. One-two pitch. Into right field and into the glove of Will Hardy for the first out of the inning. And that brings up Alden Cottle. Hegan looking to put the first blemish on Cottle's stats today. Here's the pitch. Down the middle, strike one. A 1 pitch. Fouled back. One out, runner on first, 0-2 count. Here's the pitch. Swung through, strike three. As Hegan gets his first strikeout of the game. The first strikeout for the Francis Marion pitching staff in over 2 innings. As Aaron Hedgepath comes up, 0 for 4 on the day. 0 for 3, excuse me. As he fouls back. Almost in the parking lot. Two outs, runner on first. Here's the pitch. We got a runner going. And Caspero has stolen second. Caspero now 19 for 21 on the season with stolen base attempts. As it now has a runner in scoring position with 2 outs. Counts 1-1. Hegan's got the sign looking to set. Here's the pitch. Swung through, strike two. One-two pitch. Fouled back. 1-2 pitch. Popped up in the center. Hannah's looking to get underneath it, and he does to get the third out of the inning, leaving a runner stranded on base. And after 6.5 innings, the score is still tied 8-8, and I think it's time for a 7th inning stretch. We'll be right back with Francis Marion bringing up the bottom of the order right after this.
This is Conference Carolinas.
Welcome back to Cornell Field on Sparrow Stadium here on the campus of Francis Marion University. The sun's peeking out a little bit at the bottom of the 7th inning as Caleb Irwin back out on the mound, 4 2/3 innings pitched today, and he will face the bottom of the order for the Patriots, starting with Lex Tootin. First pitch looking for ball 1. Tootin looking to get the Patriots ahead as the game is tied 8-8 as he takes the second pitch looking for strike 1. One pitch. Fouled into the Trojan dugout. One-two pitch. Swung through, strike 3. Coming up, Isaac Shuck. Shuck looking to improve on his performance right now. Here's the pitch. Outside for ball 1. One-zero pitch. Swung through, strike 1. One pitch in the dirt for ball 2. Sun's now really peeking through the clouds at this moment, shining on the pitcher's mound as the 2-1 pitch Shuck pops it up into right field, and good hustle by Cooper George to get the second out of the inning. Coming up to bat, Bill Hanna. Hanna fouling off the first pitch he sees. Two outs, nobody on. 0-1 pitch high for ball one. Hanna looking to be the spark that lights the comeback as he grounds into at the short and thrown to first to end the inning. Score still tied 8-8, and the Trojans will be sending up their 5, 6, 7 hitters at the top of the 8th inning. But before we go to a break, Francis Marion University Athletics would like to thank the following sponsors: Adidas, Circle Park Behavioral Health Services, McLeod Regional Medical Center, Ken Jackson and Remax Professionals, Pepsi, McDonald's, Rains Hospitality, including Fairfield Inn, Spring Hill Suites, Courtyard by Marriott, Comfort Inn, and Hyatt Place, King Cadillac, Buick GMC, McLeod Sports Medicine, Chick-fil-A, State Farm, and Agent Jim Stewart, Quincy Steakhouse, Little Caesars, La Quinta Inn and Suites, KFC Arby's, Florence Toyota, Waffle House, PD Electric Cooperative, Sparrow and Kennedy Tractor Supply, McCall Supply Inc., Western Citizen Steakhouse, State Credit Union, and Zaxby's. Once again, Francis Marion University Athletics would like to thank all of those sponsors. And we will be right back with the top of the 8th inning.
The Swanfox Club is the fundraising arm of the Francis Marion University Athletic Department, and it supplies assistance to all 14 intercollegiate sports. On behalf of the student athletes at Francis Marion, I would like to thank all those who are members of the Swanfox Club for their support.
Thank you.
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 Welcome back to Cornell Field at Sparrow Stadium. This is the Patriots Sports Network. My name is Kyle Nash. I'm top of the 8th. Score still tied 8-8. Jack Hegan back on the mound facing Cooper George as George hits a pop-up into foul territory, and Nobles gets underneath it for the first out of the inning. One pitch, one out. The score has remained tied since the bottom of the 5th inning. Joshua Jones coming up 2 for 4. Showing bunt. One 0 pitch, showing bunt. Strike one. One pitch, fouled back for strike two. One-two pitch, swung through for strike three. And Hegan gets the second strikeout of the game. Two up, two down. Gordon Pill up. He is 1 for 3 on the day. Hegan looking to make this a 1-2-3 inning. Here's the pitch. Outside for ball one. One 0 pitch swung through. Strike one. One pitch outside for ball two. Two one pitch swung through. Strike two. Egan looking for his third strikeout of the game, 8th of the season. Here's the pitch. Grounded up the middle to left. And Pill reaches with a 2-out single. Up to bat now, Dylan Benton, 2 for 3 on the day. There does look to be some activity in the Patriots bullpen. Two outs, runner on first. Here's the pitch. Outside corner, strike one. A one pitch outside for ball one. One pitch swung through, strike two. One-two pitch. High for ball two. Two-two pitch. Outside for ball three. Counts full. Three-two pitch. And Bidden will be advancing on a hit by pitch. Two outs, runners on first and second. As we have a pinch hitter Matt Stokes coming up to bat, replacing David Cucci. Stokes did not see action. He did see action in game one, going 1 for 2 with 2 RBIs. As he fouls the first pitch he sees for strike one. A 1 pitch outside for ball one. One pitch inside for ball two. Two one pitch into right field. One run's going to come. And a 2-out RBI single to right field drives in 2 runs, Benton and Pill. And Mount Olive takes the lead 10-8. All right, and we do have a pinch runner for Stokes. The runner will be number 1, Jalen Jenkins. As we have a new pitcher coming on for the Patriots. He will be facing a 2-out situation with 1 on. Once we get the name and number, we will get that to you right after this.
Francis Marion University has always put its students first because the very best college education must be both meaningful and affordable. We've frozen tuition for 3 straight years. We've expanded our programs, opening the door to a variety of rewarding careers. Our campus has been recognized as the safest in the state. And now we're providing students with an on-campus healthcare plan that's covered by their existing tuition. This is what every college should be doing. We know one that actually is. All right,
welcome back, and we do have a pitching change. Number 42, Nick Palumbo, right-handed senior, coming on the mound. We'll be taking a 2-out, 1 runner on second situation. Palumbo, a senior out of Wayne, New Jersey. Palumbo 1-1 on the season with 5 saves, pitching 13 innings. Has struck out 14 batters. Here's the pitch. Swung through, strike one. A 1 pitch. Down the middle, strike two. Oh, 2 pitch. Outside corner for strike three. Nick Palumbo punches the last out, but we're going into the bottom of the 8th inning. Mount Olive is up 10-8. We will be back right after this.
Compassion and commitment have made you a great nurse. Now it's time to take the next step in your career and earn an advanced practice degree. Francis Marion University Nursing is led by great nurses who take teaching seriously. We're recognized as a National Center of Excellence for Teaching Nurses. Francis Marion University. Teaching matters here.
Welcome back to Cornell Field at Sparrow Stadium on the campus of Francis Marion University. This is the Patriots Sports Network. My name is Kyle Nashheim. Mount Olive leading 10-8, and a couple of defensive substitutions for the Trojans. Jalen Jenkins is taking over at center field, and Dylan Jeffries is taking over in right field, as Caleb Irwin will take on the top of the order, as Will Hardy knocks that ball just close to the Trojans' bullpen. For strike one. A 1 pitch, high for ball one. One pitch, high for ball two. Will Hardy has a double and an RBI today, 1 for 4. Down the middle, strike 2. Two-two pitch. Fouled back. Almost went into the softball stadium. Two-two pitch. Popped up into foul territory. And into the glove of Petrino for the first out of the inning. Petrino crashed into the fencing around the Trojan bullpen. Going all out to get the first out of the inning for the Trojans. Nafis Llanos up now, 2 for 4 with an RBI. Todd Maddox on deck. 1 out, no one on as the first pitch is outside for ball 1. One 0 pitch inside for ball 2. Two 0 pitch up the middle into center field, right at the feet of Jenkins. Nafis Llanos gets on base with a 1-out single, which brings up Todd Maddox. Maddox 2 for 2 with an RBI. He has reached base at every at-bat. Todd Maddox has 11 doubles this season. Here's the pitch. Check swing. Said he did not go through. Ball 1. Here's the pitch. Strike 1. One pitch into right field at the feet of Jeffries as Nafis Llanos advances to second. Todd Maddox gets on base with the second consecutive 1-out single. We have runners on first and second, 1 out with Lenio Gonzalez. And if we remember a few weeks ago, Lenio Gonzalez hit that. It was a game-winning walk-off. Let's see if he has some of that magic left. Because behind him is Darius Nobles. 1 out. Here's the pitch. Outside for strike 1. 1-0 pitch. Swung through, strike 2. And Irwin was given a warning for a violation. It might have been like an inactivity violation. The Patriots got one earlier in this game. Here's the pitch. Fouled back. Here's the pitch. High for ball 1. Trojans have 10 runs on 14 hits. Patriots 8 runs on 12 hits and 2 missed opportunities. 1-2 count. Runners on first and second with 1 out. Fouled into the batting cages. One-two count still. As Gonzalez calls time. One-two pitch. Liner into center field. Llanos is going to score. Nafis Llanos scores from second on an RBI single up to center. Maddox advanced to second. And we're going to be having a pinch runner for Lino Gonzalez, and that will be Kobe Crepeau. As we will have a conversation on the mound for the Trojans. There is some action in the Trojans bullpen. All right, so there is going to be a pitching change. Caleb Irwin pitching 6 innings in relief. We will take a quick break, and we will let you know who the pitcher is right after this. All right, and the new pitcher for the Trojans is Justin Kohler, right-handed sophomore out of Trinity, Florida. Previously played some ball at West Virginia. Going into the season, he has a 4-2 record with 1 save, 19 in the third innings. Does have an ERA of 4.66, and he gets to look at Darius Nobles as his first batter. Just remember, Irwin is responsible for the runners on first and second. First pitch, swung through, strike one. 1 out, runners on first and second. Maddox on second, Kobe Crepeau on first. Pinch running for Lenio Gonzalez. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swung through, strike 2. Noble's looking for his 12th home run of the season. Oh, 2 pitch. Popped up. And into the glove of Caspero for the second out of the inning. And coming up to bat now is Tanner Wakefield. Wakefield 2 for 3 on the night with 2 RBIs. Patriots trail 10-9. Here's the pitch. Foul down the right third base line. Two outs, runners on first and second. Maddox in scoring position. Maddox is the tying run. Crepeau is the go-ahead run. Any extra base hit would tie the game, potentially give the Patriots the lead. Here's the pitch. Outside for strike 2. That pitch had a little extra oomph on it. 0-2 pitch. Grounder to second base. And put out by the first baseman Hedgepath. After 8 innings, Francis Marion puts one on the board, but the Trojans are up 10-9 going into the top of the 9th inning. The 2, 3, and 4 hitters will be up for the Trojans right after this.
If there's a prettier place to go to college in the springtime, we don't know about it. Of course, we think it's the place to be all year round. Francis Marion University. Unparalleled beauty, unbeatable affordability, education that will last a lifetime.
Welcome back to Cornell Field at Sparrow Stadium here at Francis Marion University. This is the Patriots Sports Network. My name is Kyle Nash. I'm top of the ninth. Nick Palumbo back out there. Vito Petrino out in the batter's box. He's 1 for 3 on the day. Here's the pitch. Flied out into left field and in and out of the glove of Tootin. And we'll start with a double as all right, after that, Paterno doubled to left field. Nick Palumbo staying in the game as Alden Cotto's up now, 3 for 4 on the day. Here's the pitch. Umpire said he did not swing around. Ball 1. One 0 pitch. Popped up into right field into the glove of Hardy. But that will be a sac fly as Paterno advances to third. Runner in scoring position with 1 out. And Aaron Hedgepeth up 0 for 5 on the day.
Number 44, Aaron Hedgepeth.
Here's the pitch. Popped up to center. Hannah's underneath it. Catches it. Looks like it's going to be a sac fly. throw to Palumbo. The throw was to Nobles as Palumbo was covering home. And Mount Olive increases its lead to 11-9 on the sack fly. Coming up now, Dylan Jeffries.
Now batting, number 17, Dylan Jeffries.
Jeffries had an appearance earlier today and had a walk. 2 outs, nobody on. Outside corner, ball 1. Outside, ball 2. Two-zero pitch. Outside for ball 3. Three-zero count in the dirt as Jeffries advances on a walk. Coming up, Joshua Jones, 2 for 5.
Now batting, number 12, Joshua Jones.
Here's the pitch. Down the middle, strike 1. A 1 pitch. Outside, ball 1. One pitch. In the center. And that will be a 2-out single. Two outs, runners on first and second, and Gordon Pill coming up, 2 for 4 on the day.
Now batting, number 10, Gordon Pill.
Here's the pitch. Down the middle, strike 1. A 1 pitch. Down the middle again, strike 2. Oh, 2 pitch. Swung through, strike 3 to end the inning. But the Trojans bring one across as we go to the bottom of the 9th. Patriots down 11-9, looking to increase its winning streak to 7 games. We'll be right back. Bottom of the ninth here at Cornell Field at Sparrow Stadium. Beautiful campus of Francis Marion University. This is the Patriots Sports Network. My name is Kyle Nashheim. 11-9 is the score. Justin Kohler is back out on the mound. Patriots are 3 out away from seeing the streak snap. First pitch, down the middle, strike one. Before we go any further, I want to thank everyone here at the Patriots Sports Network, all the cameramen, the statistician, doing an excellent job making sure that we're giving you the visual representation of this game as the 0-1 pitch is swung through in the dirt for strike two. Oh-2 pitch. And Lex Tootin gets on by a hit by pitch. And that will bring up a pinch hitter for Isaac Shuck. And that pinch hitter will be Austin Moore. And we have a pinch hitter for Bill Hanna as well. We'll tell you who he is once he comes up. Here's the pitch. Outside corner, strike one. Just a reminder, the next time the Patriots take the field will be Tuesday at 6 p.m. on the Patriot Sports Network as Lander comes to town. 0-1 pitch. Foul tip for strike two. That will be the final midweek home game for the Patriots. Oh, 2 pitch. Swung through, strike three. And Austin Moore gets sent down swinging. Coming up to bat, pinch hitting for Bill Hanna will be Dalton Dabbs. Dabbs hit the grand slam in game one. The Patriots fans are hoping he has magic in him again, because a home run will tie this game. Here's the pitch. Inside corner, strike one. Patriots down to their final 5 strikes. 0-1 pitch. Outside for strike two. Oh-2 pitch, runner on first. Here's the pitch. In the dirt for ball one. 1-2 pitch. That's ball 2. It's a 2-2 count. Swung through for strike 3. 2 outs. And up to bat is Will Hardy. Will Hardy looking to be the spark to continue this game. Here's the pitch. In the dirt for ball 1. Hedgepath playing off of first base. 1-0 pitch. Grounded to first. And the game is over. Mount Olive comes back from a 7-1 deficit to win the game 11-9. And we will take a quick break, and we will be back with the final stats right after this.
This is Conference Carolinas.
All right. After game 2 of this doubleheader, Mount Olive wins 11-9. Caleb Urban credited with the win. Justin Kohler gets the save, and Jack Hegan gets the loss for the game. This will put the Patriots 23-13, 11-9 in conference play. Yep. And Mount Olive will be 21-15. Just as a reminder, we will be back on the air Tuesday at 6 p.m. Lander coming into town. This will be live on the Patriot Sports Network. For everyone here at the Patriot Sports Network, my name is Kyle Nashheim. I hope you all have a great rest of the day, and we will see you on Tuesday at 6 p.m.